Hi everyone, welcome to the Calvin Show. I'm Calvin. Let's get started. I love that there's construction going on out in the hallway and the door is open because they're painting the door, and there's this like bubble wrap on the floor so you can hear when everybody's walking. I was reading a blog post yesterday from Jason Kotke about quitting the news and why you might want to do that. And being someone who's basically quit the news for a long time now, I quit having a television, I think, at least 12 years ago. And I've generally not been paying too much attention to the news in those years, or like not following the news in that period of time. And I can say it's a great thing. With most news, it's not designed to really inform you. It's not designed to really give you the truth and give you like a complete picture of what the world actually looks like. It's intended to make you feel certain things, usually anger or feeling offended by something. These are emotions that people are scared about things. So like that, there's so many people out there who just love to feel offended about something. I'm offended that these like transgender people would pee in the wrong bathroom, or like whatever it is. People just like to be offended, and the media is really good at helping them finding things to be offended about. The media loves to make us scared, like the Fox News that has this like major like breaking news alert thing that was supposed to be used for huge 9/11 kind of events, but is being used for absolutely everything now. I only know this from The Daily Show because that's the news that I've been watching for many years. I do subscribe to The Economist, and I kind of follow along, and I feel like it has a good overview of the entire world. But to be honest, most weeks I don't even read it, and that's plenty. If something like really important is happening, your friends will tell you, someone will tell you, you will find out. Some people would say that like not following the news is like putting your head in the sand, but it's really not. As long as you're actually happy and feeling joy, that's the best thing that you can do for yourself and for others. Back when Jon Stewart was doing The Daily Show, I would follow along on that, because not on the pretense that it would give me an accurate picture of what's going on, but I think it gives me a much more accurate picture of what's going on than following, the regular news sources. Comedy can actually tell the truth in a way that regular TV or regular media, non-comedy stuff can't. What humor is really is truth and pain. Like that's when we laugh, is when something is true and a little painful. That's when we laugh. And so that's the power of comedy, is to actually say that truth. And you'll see that in many of Jon Stewart's interviews, that he will say the things and ask the questions that everybody wants to ask, but nobody on regular media would go and ask, because you can't do that. But under the guise of comedy, you can. The other thing is know what you can and can't change about your life. And a lot of things, like whether the government goes to war in Syria or how they do that, I have zero influence on it. So why bother with trying to figure out and having an opinion on it and being like, oh, I think they should do this instead of that, and who cares? Because they're not going to listen to my opinion anyway. I could feel superior for a little while, but it doesn't really offer me anything to have any particular opinions on these things, because it's not my job. So I just pulled up Fox News. It says, top headline is Stein's mad money. Nearly $1 million of recount funds spent on consultants and staff. That's clearly designed to make you offended and angry about that. It's mad money. The next one is high energy ? Perry picked to head department he once sought to abolish. Clearly also designed to make you feel offended. Drunken dictation. Kim Jong-un blacks out on direct order to general. That's supposed to make you, I don't know, offended, scared, confused. Laugh, maybe, because we like to put down North Korea. Greatest man in quotes. Rubbing thick celebs speak out about Alan's death. I guess that's not designed to make you offended. Couple arrested in worst case of child abuse cop has ever seen. Big headline on the cover. He failed our kids. Mayor must accept monitor. So these are just outrageous things that who gives a shit, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't impact our lives in any way. Just like the stock market. Oh, it's going up, it's going down. Unless you're a big fund invested in the market, why would you care what the stock market does? It doesn't affect you in any way. Yesterday, Ronnie asked me a question saying, what are your thoughts on personal branding and how it relates to really getting out there with your products? It seems to me like it's very important if you are to be valued. That's a fantastic question, actually. And I love how he ends it by saying, I think it seems to me like it's very important if you are to be valued, because I think the key to personal branding and to really breaking through is to know yourself and to value yourself. So once you really understand who you are and value that, then you can allow that to come out and show that to other people. And once you're that kind of true and clear and honest, that turns out to be magnetic and attractive to other people. It's not about learning technique. Oh, let me define and come up with some like great like wacky things. You can add a little wackiness. I heard that that the way that Lady Gaga got famous was that she started to walk around with a potted plant on her head, and then people started writing about her, and then she got famous. That was her famous ex-boyfriend that said that to in some interview. So a little wackiness helps, but it really has to be built on a foundation of something that's very, very true and very real. For most of my life, I didn't really know who I was. It was like, I don't know who I am. I just know that I don't like it, whatever it is. But I was so convinced that I wouldn't like it that I didn't actually care to look for a long time. But, you know, that process of self-discovery, of really getting to know yourself, is just invaluable, and you can't fake it. Your feelings and emotions are really the key guide here, right? That's what tells you how you feel in your gut. But if you have a ton of like buried emotional stuff on top of it, you can't feel it. For me, that was the process for a lot of years, was like uncovering all of those layers of stored emotions. As we grow up, we have some strong feelings. We get scared or shamed or sad or whatever, and we can't handle it. And so we put a lid on it, and these feelings are still buried somewhere inside the body. And then something happens today, and we meet someone and they trigger us in some way, and that old emotion comes up. And it's a good thing, because it shows you where you need to do healing. And all you really need to do is to like go back and be with that kid that had this strong reaction at this age, and sit with him or her and love her and talk to her and understand her, kind of like as an inner process, and then maybe cry or whatever you need to do, and then that emotion can be released. It's not a hard process in that sense. It's just like very uncomfortable and unfamiliar, because there is a reason you shut it down in the first place. And once you do that and you get better at it, you do it faster, and then eventually you get to this point where you feel pretty solid inside, because you're always connected with that inner knowing and that intuition and that gut sense of who you are and what you need to do and what you truly feel about things. So it's not just like regurgitating beliefs and opinions that you heard somewhere or thought about or whatever, but you can truly connect with what is true for you in the moment. So that's the key to the personal branding, is to really truly know yourself. It really starts with the willingness. In life in general, like everything really comes down to the willingness, because life will automatically get you on track to where you need to go. The universe has your back. The universe loves you. It's our resistance to accepting that love that keeps us stuck. All that's really needed is the willingness to not hold on to the things that keep us stuck. That's ultimately the key to life. There you go. I gave you the key to life and the key to business. Thanks, Ronnie, for your question. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in to The Calvin Show. Make sure you go over to my website and sign up for the mailing list there.